Oh, goody.
Alright, what's going on, everybody? Zombies here again, and today we're back with another Marvel Snap video. So the Sugar, Spice, and Everything Ice bundle finally dropped today after the changes we saw in the data mines, and then it changed again on release. So we're going to compare all three of them and then talk about it a little bit in terms of, is this bundle really worth buying, and the general trend that we're kind of seeing here in regards to gold bundles. So up here at the top left, we have the initial data mine of what this bundle was originally listed as. On the right, we have the first change that happened to the data mine, which is what everyone got kind of upset about. And at the bottom here, we have the one that launched live in-game today. So initially, this was a very, very high value bundle, which is why people were saving for it. 6K tokens, 7K credits, that is a lot of resources. Then after the first data mine, it was reduced down to 6,000 tokens and 2,000 credits while maintaining the same price. People were really not happy about this. There was a little bit of a response from Second Dinner saying, hey, don't worry, you know, this isn't final. We're going to change it again. It's going to be less token heavy, but more credit heavy. Trust us, bro, it's fine. And well, now it's come out today and it's really not that fine. Or at least compared to what people are hoping to get out of a bundle like this. So the final version is much more credit heavy, now at 10,000 credits, but only 1,500 tokens. So is this better than the previously data mined one that people were upset about? Ever so slightly, yes. It also appeals to a different section of the player base. So generally, players who have most of the things or who have whaled out on the game, they don't really need tokens as much as the free-to-play or pass-only players, as they have a decent stockpile of tokens from other things they bought, particularly the real money bundles, which often have better value than these 4 gold ones. So credits are often a lot more desirable to those players, as credits help them get spotlight caches for new cards or new variants, and they also help them go for splits on their cards, which I think is a big driving force in making people want to get these bundles. Now for credits versus tokens, it's going to kind of depend where you're at in terms of collection. I do think that if you are low on tokens, but you have a lot of the cards, tokens are actually going to be the thing you value the most, because spotlights aren't quite as valuable when you have a lot of the cards. And if you don't have a stockpile of tokens, being able to use tokens to guarantee get a card during a week when you don't want to risk opening spotlights, that's pretty appealing. So if you're a player who has a lot of the cards and was hoping to get tokens to guarantee stuff without having to use spotlights, this bundle got significantly worse for you. If you're a player who's still missing a lot of cards, I think this is slightly better, because spotlights are generally a bit better for those players compared to tokens, as spotlights are more likely to get you multiple cards in a given week. This is essentially getting you roughly 2 spotlights, I believe. So keep that in mind when deciding if this is worth it or not for you. But in general, we can see the average progress value here is almost exactly the same as it was in the second data mined version. It really hasn't improved significantly, and it is certainly a lot lower than we saw in that first version 1 analysis. And this isn't all that surprising. They did this with the She-Hulk bundle. They've done this with a ton of high value bundles, and they probably will do it again. So this just serves as a bit of a lesson to know that they probably aren't going to maintain bundles at these high values that the data mines initially have them at, which really sucks. And it would be great if they would give us some kind of proper scheduling so people can actually plan out their resources, but it seems they are very against doing that. So I don't expect that to really change, sadly. Now, I wanted to take a look back at some of the other bundles that we have had recently for gold as a little bit of comparison, as I think we found the average progression value at which they kind of want these gold bundles to be, and it is significantly lower than we've seen with some of these real money bundles. On average, this 135% is about the high end of where these 4 gold bundles are going to end up. So if you look back at some of the bundles that have included credits and tokens, we can see that the current bundle is actually the second best of the bunch here. Forged Knight with Apocalypse and Lady Sif, 4K tokens, 500 credits, was the lowest value of the bunch at 120% progress. The Artist Showcase Kai Lun Ku was just slightly below, but around at the same number as the current bundle, coming in at just under 133%. And the High Stakes with Dracula is the highest value for gold bundle we've had at recent memory, which was about 10% higher than the current bundle. So while the Dracula one was higher, if you're just looking for progress and getting more spotlight caches, if you feel like you don't have enough leading into a month where you want some of the cards, this is still about average value for these 4 gold bundles. However, the Electra bundle was essentially the same amount of progress value for a significantly cheaper cost and for a arguably better variant, though that will obviously be subjective. So on one hand, it's nice that they have same value bundles, even though it's scaled smaller, the overall percent progress value is the same, but this is just kind of showing us that 135% progress seems to be where they want to keep things at for these 4 gold bundles. So now that we've taken a look at some of the more recent 4 gold bundles, what about the bundles that are for real money? And here is where we can see the real disparity between the offers we've been having recently. There's no avoiding it, the vast majority of the offers for real money contain significant more progress value. Particularly recently with some of these ticket time offers have actually been some of the best in the game ever. We can see the Ringing in Your Ears bundle from earlier this month, more expensive bundle, but having a 171% progress value. Lift with Might with Luke Cage, which you could get on the web store shortly after the season dropped, was pretty high value as well at over 200%. Ticket time offers were both really high value, with the first one being 450%, the second one being 250%, both being significantly higher than we're seeing in these 4 gold offers. And the Mystery Bundle 3, still pretty high value at 188%. So what's the takeaway from all of this? Well, if you were planning to buy the Sugar, Spice, and Everything Ice bundle purely for progress instead of specifically for tokens, then it's probably still a alright value compared to previous offers for gold. The only one it's a bit worse than as of recently is the Dracula one, but it's still pretty in line with what they normally give progress-wise for the 4 gold bundles. So if you're in need of spotlights, it is still a fine bundle to get. However, if your goal is getting tokens and not credits for spotlights, then it's probably going to be less valuable to you. And then the other big thing is, unless you are a pure free-to-play player or a pass-only player, generally your resources are better off spending on these cheap $10 to $15 bundles that are significantly higher value. And then when you factor in that these often include gold, as we can see here, you can save up that gold to hopefully get some of the better value bundles that come along, like the Electra bundle, which doesn't cost a whole lot of gold, but gives you essentially the same amount of percentage progress that we get with these more expensive gold ones like the one we have in the store now. So that's pretty much going to wrap it up for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. The last video really popped off. People were pretty justifiably upset about it, and I'm curious to see where their feelings lie with this one. I think a lot of people are still going to not be happy that it is significantly worse value than was previously data mined, but I'm curious if the fact that it is essentially roughly the same amount of value as Second Dinner seems to be pricing all these 4 gold bundles helps with that at all, or if people still aren't really happy about it. That's going to wrap it up for this one, though. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.